Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me on day 2 of the 30-day prepper challenge. Today we're going to talk about storing water. Storing water as a prepper is critical for several reasons. Number 1, it ensures survival, and number 2, it gives you resilience in an emergency. So we live in a motorhome, if you've been watching our channel for a while, and as you can see, I have a large freshwater reservoir right here. This tank holds 62 gallons of water. And when we are parked stationary like we are now, we fill it to capacity. And when we travel, I drain some water out of it and have about 30 gallons of water with me. Water is essential for human survival. The average person needs about a gallon of water per day for drinking and basic hygiene. You can only survive a few days without water. So it's just me and my wife, and so that 62 gallons in an emergency situation will last my wife and I for a month. That's not the only water we have on board. Inside our camper, we have this Berkey water filter that holds 1.5 gallons of water. It's full. We have 4 glass jars here. That's another 2 gallons worth of water. And then in the refrigerator, we have 2 more gallon jars on the bottom shelf. So that's the additional water that we carry for right now. Part of the problem with the public water system is it's unreliable. Water supplies can fail due to power outages, broken infrastructure, or contamination. The reason I need to refill my tank, you see my water level is right here, is last weekend here at the campground, we had a water break and we were without water for 2.5 days. And with not having water here, I had to pump water from this tank into the camper so we could have the water that we needed to survive. So to fill our water, I've got the water bay on this side. And I just go from city water to tank, and it will start to fill our water system. Beyond drinking, water is needed for cooking, cleaning, hygiene, and medical emergencies. Disaster can disrupt water access for a day, a week, or even longer. Like the story I just gave you, is we were out of water for several days and we had to use our onboard water supply. If I did not know that it was just going to be a short outage, we would have rationed our water, which would have made it last much longer. But we knew the water was only going to be out for a day or 2, so we weren't worried about that. Having a reliable water supply reduces stress, allows you to focus on more projects that need to be handled that are more of an emergency. So the more supplies and the more planning you've done, the easier the situation you find yourself in will be. And you can see as I'm filling this, I'm getting more water in the system. More water means less stress later. As I stated earlier in this video, as far as quantity is, you want to have a minimum of 1 gallon per person per day stored. And at a minimum, you want to have at least 3 days worth of storage. So if it's just you and your wife, you could go down to Walmart and buy 6 gallons of water for under $10 and have already given yourself a 3-day supply of water that you need. Now, when we lived in a sticks and bricks, a traditional house, I had water catchment systems that I caught water off of the roof of the house. I used it for the garden and for the outside animals. We had saved 2-liter bottles, and we would fill those with our well water, put 1 drop of Clorox in there, and that would keep it fresh enough to store. And I had about 60 or 70 gallons of water stored that way. Or you can go and buy the big 5-gallon jugs at a grocery store or Walmart, fill those with water, put 5 drops of Clorox in there, and that would keep your water safe and sanitary. If you are going to store water, please use food grade containers, BPA free plastic, or I like the glass containers. You saw that I had 6 of those inside. I'll leave a link in the description of this video where I get those from Amazon, or I use a stainless steel container like my Berkey. I keep 1.5 gallons in the bottom of that, and I rotate the water through there. So if we're drinking water out of this big huge tank behind me, then we will run it through the Berkey before we drink it. We have a triple filter system on our motorhome, so the water's filtered before it goes into the system. So if you look underneath here, there's a white filter back there. If you look on my hose, I've got a blue filter there. And then I use the Berkey system in the camper. And I do the storage in the plastic containers, BPA free, my glass containers, or my stainless steel container. The other thing you need to do is rotate your water every 6 to 12 months to make sure it's fresh. This big tank I have outside has a valve right there where I can drain it. I drain it every 6 months. When I do, I then fill it back with water, add Clorox to decontaminate it, run the Clorox through with a pump, my water system on board. I let it sit overnight, I drain it back out, and then I put fresh water. So clean the containers that you're storing every 6 to 12 months and rotate your water out. Now, what happens if you're in a long-term situation? You need to find good drinking water. Well, you can buy a filter, like a Life Straw, and filter water that way, or boil the water you're going to drink to make sure that it is clean enough to drink. By prioritizing water storage, preppers ensure they can meet one of the most essential survival needs in a help to manage the crisis you find yourself in. So I encourage you today to go out, if you're not storing water, and go buy a couple of gallons of water to give yourself peace and ease of mind to prepare yourself for the next outage. Everybody stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow.